hit the subscribe button. Currently only 1.7% of my viewers are subscribe. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll release an exclusive special video just for you.
The midday sun blazed fiercely over the ruins of Sydney, casting harsh shadows over the shattered remnants of civilization. Amidst the rubble, a colossal Valorian warship pierced through the clouds, its solar flares igniting the skyline. But unlike the desolate landscape, the solar soldiers stood resilient, untouched by the celestial inferno. Jack Lawson, a rugged soldier with a haunted look in his eyes, crouched behind a crumbling wall. Sweat trickled down his brow, but his resolve remained unshaken. He clutched his rifle tightly, eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of movement. The death of his family still weighed heavily on him, but he had channeled his grief into a fierce determination to fight back. "Jack, on your six." Captain Lara Simmons's voice crackled through his earpiece. Her commanding tone cut through the chaos like a blade. Jack turned just in time to see a Valorian drone swooping down. He fired a precise shot, the drone exploding into a burst of sparks. Simmons appeared beside him, her presence a calming force amidst the turmoil. She was a paragon of strength and strategy, her eyes reflecting the steeliness of her resolve. "These flares, why aren't they burning us alive?" Jack asked, his voice tinged with both awe and confusion. "We've adapted, Jack," Simmons replied, her gaze fixed on the approaching Valorian forces. "And we're going to use that against them." The camp was under heavy attack, but the solar soldiers moved with practiced precision. Their immunity to the Valorian's primary weapon, a result of centuries of human evolution under intense sunlight, gave them an unparalleled advantage. This unique resistance baffled the Valorians, who had always relied on solar flares to decimate their enemies. Dr. Eliza Park, the team's brilliant scientist, emerged from a makeshift lab, her face etched with determination. She had been tirelessly working to understand the intricacies of their resistance, hoping to find a way to exploit it further. Her knowledge and quick thinking had saved countless lives. "Captain, I've got something," Dr. Park said, holding up a small device. "A prototype jammer that can disrupt their drone signals. It's not perfect, but it might buy us some time." "Good work, Eliza," Simmons nodded. "Let's put it to use." As the battle raged on, Jack's thoughts drifted back to his family. He could still hear their voices, feel their presence. It was this memory that fueled his rage and gave him the strength to keep fighting. Each Valorian he took down was a step closer to avenging them. Simmons and her team coordinated a counterattack, their movements a testament to their training and camaraderie. They launched a daring assault on the Valorian outpost, using their solar resistance to their advantage. The Valorians, unprepared for such fierce opposition, faltered under the relentless human onslaught. "We need to hit them where it hurts," Simmons said, her voice carrying a sense of urgency. "Jack, take point. Eliza, cover our flanks. We're going in." Jack nodded, his grip on his rifle tightening. The team moved swiftly through the ruins, their senses heightened by the ever-present danger. Each step brought them closer to the enemy stronghold, the heart of the Valorian operation. The solar soldiers infiltrated the outpost, encountering advanced alien technology in heavily armed guards. The air was thick with tension, every sound amplified in the silence. Jack led the charge, his determination unwavering. They fought their way through, disabling key systems and planting explosive charges. In the midst of the chaos, Jack found himself face to face with a Valorian soldier. The alien's eyes burned with a mix of fury and confusion, its disbelief at the human's resilience evident. Jack's mind raced, memories of his family flashing before him. With a primal roar, he tackled the alien, their struggle a clash of wills and strength. "Jack, we need to move." Simmons' voice cut through the haze, pulling him back to reality. They regrouped, the explosive charges set and ready. As they made their escape, a massive explosion rocked the ground, the outpost engulfed in flames. The solar soldiers emerged victorious, their spirits lifted by the successful mission. Back at the base, amidst the wreckage, Simmons addressed her team. "We've shown them that humanity won't go down without a fight. This is just the beginning." Jack looked around at his comrades, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. The fight was far from over, but together, they were stronger than any force the Valorians could muster. As the sun set over the battered city, the solar soldiers prepared for their next battle, ready to take back their world. The sky was a bruised purple as dawn broke over the city, the remnants of the Valorian outpost still smoldering from the previous night's raid. Jack Lawson leaned against the crumbling wall of their temporary base, the acrid scent of smoke and scorched metal filling his nostrils. His muscles ached from the battle, but his mind was sharper than ever, fueled by the adrenaline of their victory. Captain Laura Simmons approached, her expression a blend of determination and fatigue. "Good work last night, everyone. We've dealt a significant blow to the Valorians, but we can't afford to rest. Intel suggests they're regrouping and planning a counterstrike." Jack straightened, wiping sweat from his brow. "What's the plan, Captain?" Dr. Eliza Park joined them, holding her prototype jammer. "We need to exploit their disarray. If we can disrupt their communications further, we can slow down their coordination and buy ourselves more time." Simmons nodded. "Exactly. Jack, you and Eliza will take point on this. We need to hit their central communication hub. It's heavily guarded, but if we can take it out, we can cripple their operations." As the team prepared for the mission, the tension was palpable. The stakes were higher now, with the Valorians aware of their capabilities. Jack could sense the unease in his comrades, but he also saw their unwavering resolve. They were ready to fight, ready to reclaim their world. The journey to the communication hub was fraught with danger. The once bustling streets were now a desolate wasteland, littered with debris and the remnants of a civilization brought to its knees. The eerie silence was punctuated by the distant sounds of Valorian patrols, their alien language a stark reminder of the threat they faced. As they approached the hub, Jack signaled for the team to halt. He scanned the perimeter, noting the heavy fortifications and the numerous guards patrolling the area. "This isn't going to be easy," he muttered, his grip tightening on his rifle. Dr. Park adjusted her equipment, her eyes focused and determined. "We knew it wouldn't be. But we have an edge they don't expect." Jack turned to the team. "All right, here's the plan. We create a diversion at the south entrance to draw their attention. Eliza and I will infiltrate from the north and plant the jammer. Once it's active, we'll regroup and take out the guards." The team nodded, their expressions steely. As they moved into position, the anticipation was electric. The first explosion rocked the south entrance, sending Valorian soldiers scrambling. Jack and Eliza took advantage of the chaos, slipping through the northern breach undetected. Inside, the hub was a maze of corridors and high-tech equipment. The alien technology was both fascinating and intimidating, its sleek design a testament to the Valorians' advanced civilization. Jack led the way, his senses heightened by the ever-present danger. "Almost there," Eliza whispered, her voice barely audible over the hum of the machinery. They reached the central console, and she began setting up the jammer, her fingers moving with practiced precision. Suddenly, the sound of approaching footsteps echoed through the corridor. Jack's heart pounded as he motioned for Eliza to hurry. The Valorian guards were closing in, their alien voices growing louder. Just as the jammer activated, a group of soldiers rounded the corner, weapons raised. "Get down!" Jack shouted, firing his rifle. The corridor erupted in a hail of bullets and energy blasts. Jack and Eliza fought back to back, their movements synchronized by countless hours of training. The odds were against them, but their resolve was unbreakable. One by one, the Valorian guards fell, but more were coming. "We need to move, now," Eliza urged, her eyes flashing with urgency. They sprinted through the labyrinthine corridors, the jammer disrupting the Valorians' communications and sowing chaos in their ranks. The rest of the team was waiting at the extraction point, holding off the remaining guards. As Jack and Eliza emerged, the team unleashed a coordinated assault, clearing a path for their escape. Breathing heavily, they regrouped outside, the sound of explosions and alien cries fading behind them. Simmons' voice crackled over the radio. Mission accomplished. Fall back to base. As they made their way back, Jack couldn't shake the feeling of impending danger. The Valorians were regrouping, and their next move would be even more aggressive. But for now, they had struck a significant blow, and that small victory fueled their determination. Back at base, Simmons addressed the team. We've crippled their communications and disrupted their plans. This is a major win, but we can't let our guard down. The real battle is just beginning. The night was unnaturally quiet as the Solar Soldiers returned to their base, the successful disruption of the Valorian communications hub fresh in their minds. Jack Lawson's thoughts were a turbulent mix of triumph and unease. He knew their victory had bought them time, but he also sensed that the Valorians would retaliate with increased ferocity. Captain Lara Simmons gathered the team for a debriefing. The dim light from the campfire flickered over their faces, casting long shadows. We've crippled their communications, but we need to stay vigilant. The Valorians will come back stronger. We need to be ready. Dr. Eliza Park stepped forward, her face illuminated by the glow of her tablet. I've analyzed the data from the hub. There's a weak point in their main ship. If we can hit it, we can disable their primary weapon permanently. Jack's heart quickened. What's the plan, Captain? Simmons took a deep breath. We'll launch a surprise attack on their mothership. It's a high-risk mission, but it's our best shot at turning the tide. The team fell silent, the gravity of the mission sinking in. Jack's gaze drifted to the night sky, where distant Valorian ships hovered like malevolent stars. His resolve hardened. They had come too far to back down now. Early the next morning, they prepared for the assault. The base buzzed with activity, soldiers checking their weapons and supplies. Jack found a quiet moment to talk to Simmons. Are you sure about this? He asked, his voice low. Simmons met his gaze, her eyes steely. It's our only chance, Jack. We can't let them continue to destroy our world. Jack nodded, his respect for her deepening. We'll make it count. The journey to the Valorian mothership was tense. They moved under the cover of darkness, using the terrain to their advantage. The towering silhouette of the alien ship loomed ahead, its sheer size a testament to Valorian engineering. Jack felt a mix of awe and dread as they approached. Inside the mothership, the air was thick with anticipation. The team navigated the labyrinthine corridors, their footsteps echoing softly. Alien glyphs adorned the walls, glowing with an eerie light. The advanced technology was a stark reminder of the formidable enemy they faced. Stay focused, Simmons whispered, her voice barely audible. We need to reach the core. As they neared their target, the tension mounted. Jack's senses were on high alert, every shadow a potential threat. They reached a massive chamber where the core pulsed with an intense, rhythmic light. Eliza, set the charges, Simmons ordered. Dr. Park moved swiftly, her hands deftly attaching the explosives. Jack and the others formed a defensive perimeter, their weapons ready. The sound of approaching footsteps sent a chill down Jack's spine. Here they come, he muttered. Valorian soldiers poured into the chamber, their alien weapons crackling with energy. The battle erupted in a blaze of gunfire and explosions. Jack fought with everything he had, each shot fueled by the memory of his lost family and the hope of a future free from Valorian tyranny. The fight was brutal and chaotic. Jack's movements were instinctive, his training taking over. He saw his comrades fighting valiantly, their determination unwavering despite the overwhelming odds. Charges set. Eliza shouted. Fall back. Simmons commanded. They retreated through the corridors, the sounds of battle and explosions echoing behind them. As they reached the extraction point, a massive explosion rocked the mothership, sending a shockwave through the structure. The core was destroyed. Outside, the night sky was filled with the fiery remains of the Veilorian ship. The team regrouped, their breaths ragged but triumphant. Jack looked around, his heart swelling with pride and relief. They had struck a crippling blow to the Veilorian forces. Back at base, Simmons addressed the team. We've dealt a major blow to the Veilorians, but the fight isn't over. We need to prepare for their retaliation. Stay sharp and stay ready. Jack looked at his comrades, their faces reflecting a mix of exhaustion and resolve. The battle had cost them dearly, but it had also brought them closer together. They were more than soldiers now, they were a family bound by a shared purpose. As the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, Jack felt a renewed sense of hope. The path ahead was fraught with danger, but they would face it together. For the first time in a long while, the future seemed within reach. The Veilorians had underestimated humanity's resilience, and they were about to learn the true strength of the human spirit. The sun hung low on the horizon, casting a golden hue over the devastated cityscape. The solar soldiers prepared for what they knew would be their most critical mission yet. The successful destruction of the Veilorian mothership's core had bought them time, but it also provoked the alien invaders into a final, desperate assault. The team gathered in a makeshift war room, tension palpable in the air. Captain Lara Simmons addressed her soldiers, her voice steady but filled with urgency. Our intel confirms that the Veilorians are mobilizing for a massive offensive. Their goal is to annihilate our remaining strongholds and reclaim their dominance. This is our last chance to turn the tide completely. Jack Lawson, standing next to her, clenched his fists. The memory of his fallen family surged through him, fueling his determination. We have to hit them first, catch them off guard. If we can disrupt their main command center, we can throw their entire operation into disarray. Dr. Eliza Park nodded, her eyes bright with resolve. I've developed a new device. It's a more powerful jammer, capable of disabling their advanced communication systems for an extended period. But we need to get it to the heart of their operation. The plan was set. The solar soldiers would launch a surprise attack on the Veilorian command center, using the new jammer to cripple their coordination. It was a high-risk mission, but the stakes had never been higher. The survival of humanity depended on their success. As night fell, the team moved out. The air was thick with anticipation, every sound amplified in the stillness. The ruins of the city loomed around them, a stark reminder of what they were fighting for. Jack led the way, his senses sharp, every step calculated. They approached the Veilorian command center, a towering fortress of alien architecture. The structure was heavily guarded, the alien soldiers patrolling with an unnerving precision. Jack signaled for the team to halt, his eyes scanning for the best entry point. Eliza, you're with me, Jack whispered. Simmons, take the rest of the team and create a diversion on the east side. We'll go in from the west. Simmons nodded, her face set with determination. Good luck. We'll see you on the other side. The diversion worked flawlessly. Explosions and gunfire erupted on the east side, drawing the Veilorian guards away from their posts. Jack and Eliza slipped through the west entrance, moving swiftly and silently through the labyrinthine corridors. The alien technology hummed around them, a constant reminder of the advanced enemy they faced. They reached the central command room, where the Veilorian leaders coordinated their forces. Eliza began setting up the jammer, her fingers moving with practiced precision. Jack stood guard, his rifle ready. The tension was palpable, every second feeling like an eternity. Hurry, Eliza, Jack urged, his voice barely above a whisper. Almost there, she replied, her eyes focused on the device. Suddenly, the door burst open, and Veilorian soldiers poured into the room. Jack fired his rifle, the chamber erupting in a blaze of gunfire and energy blasts. The battle was fierce, every shot a struggle for survival. Eliza worked frantically, the device emitting a soft hum as it powered up. "We need more time," Eliza shouted over the noise. Jack fought with a ferocity born of desperation and hope. Every Valorian he took down was a step closer to victory. Just as the soldiers seemed overwhelming, the device activated with a high-pitched whine. The Valorian guards staggered, their communications disrupted, their movements erratic. "Let's move," Jack shouted, grabbing Eliza's arm. They fled the command room, the sounds of chaos and confusion echoing behind them. Rejoining Simmons and the rest of the team, they fought their way out of the fortress, the jammer's effects spreading through the Valorian ranks like wildfire. The alien soldiers, disoriented and uncoordinated, were easy targets. Outside, the battle continued, but the tide had turned. The Valorian forces, crippled by the loss of their command center, faltered under the relentless human assault. Jack and his comrades pushed forward, their spirits lifted by the taste of impending victory. As dawn broke, the remaining Valorians retreated, their once dominant presence reduced to scattered remnants. The solar soldiers stood victorious, their hearts swelling with triumph and relief. They had faced the overwhelming might of an alien invader and emerged victorious. Back at base, Captain Simmons addressed the weary but jubilant team. "We've done it. We've taken back our world. This victory belongs to all of us, to every human who fought and sacrificed. We've shown the Valorians the true strength of humanity." Jack looked around at his comrades, their faces reflecting the shared struggle and the hard-won victory. They had come together as a family, forged in the fires of battle, united by a common purpose. The fight was not over, but they had proven that humanity was resilient, capable of withstanding any threat. As the first light of a new day bathed the city in gold, Jack felt a profound sense of hope. They had faced the darkness and emerged stronger, ready to rebuild and forge a future free from fear. The Valorians had learned a harsh lesson: humanity would never be conquered.